This is my father's briefcase from American Motors Corporation, back when the getting was good, making hay while the sun was shining. And now they are asking for major bailouts. Not going to happen when you're flying coach or driving in a fuel-efficient rental. Drinking the Cobb, a stress reliever. I just got a new PDA today. This is a paper palm. And I was looking for where you don't even charge it, and you can burn it when you're done. I recently applied for a job at UPAth for Member Services Coordinator, so that main number in there is my gateway to possibly being gainfully employed with a nonprofit, which would be a dream come true, to actually do a job that you were happy about when you got home at the end of the day. All right, storytelling night, also known as fire, cave walls, mosaics, portraits, landscapes, radios, TVs, and computers. I'm going to just kind of do a brief story, and then because I'm so used to when I read, I'm so used to doing poetry readings that I'm going to leave you with three simple winter poems to think about on your wintry ride home. I've never really written stories in regard to specific characters or situations until Peter asked me to be part of this event. And I started to really think about, you know, what storytelling has meant to me growing up, and what it meant to my family when I was very young. And I guess I really haven't had to write many stories because a lot of the people I know are stories themselves. You know, and everybody here that I can recognize is part of that kind of fabric. The real story I adhere to are the characters that exist in my real waking life. And in my dreams, these people and places shift in focus and familiarity. They form new people. Maybe from a certain point of view, they become one, interchangeable as such. And I guess storytelling as a tradition, or storytelling as an oral tradition, really has not been lost, because here we are preserving oral tradition, and it's being documented digitally in many regards. Mostly I remember stories from campfires with my grandfather Millard and my Uncle Buck and Uncle Red, and these are not nicknames, these were their real names. For real. Stories from quiet moments in the absence of a city proper. Stories from those long since past, at which point I realized the line between the beyond and reality is blurred. At what point do memories become buried enough to be resurrected through necessity, or the want to remember the stellar moments, to recapture a moment that was beautiful and pure and crystal-like? My memories are of loved ones I can't get back, some left by nature's hands, others left by their own. Music, poetry, and film are my methods used to keep them alive. Storytelling as a device has had to change with advances in technology and the perspectives of the societal whole. MySpace, YouTube, IM, chat room, email are in some way new campfires, or the computer is the campfire, or the computer is the new cave, and the stories are the campfires. We have come so far, yet the concept remains unchanged. In time long ago, shaman told stories in order that they may heal or quell the fears of those within a tribe or a conglomeration of entities, to give them assurance that nature or the beyond was not an enemy, but was an everyday reality, and that those must be respected. Stories in the beginning of time were compilations of heroics, either while hunting or fashioning more effective means by which to gather food. Ice, for instance, took us from gathering to hunting. And at the recession of the Ice Age, of course, some chose to continue to hunt and eat meat. Others chose other paths. Ships took us from landlocked to open water and subsequent new lands. Planes took us off the ground and greatly reduced seasickness and replaced it with ear popping and the possibility of a 35,000-foot free fall. But always remember, it is not the fall that hurts, it's the sudden stop. All right, with that laugh, I will take a sip of tea. Good pour, Ms. Daw, thank you. Quantum mechanics and the release of suppressed and repressed technologies may take us to distant places in space where we may meet our other selves. And what would you tell yourself if you could meet yourself? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are the common threads of self-preservation. And what good is a story if it lacks common threads? We have entered a new phase in our evolution. Our realities are simultaneously analog and digital. However, some users set their profiles to private. What happened to oral tradition? Has it converted to oral tradition? Think of all the languages that have died. Language is a lot like agriculture. Without care, nutrients, proper rotation, and harvesting, it dies. And this model can be applied to all 7 major artistic categories. As far as the news is concerned, it's designed to confuse, distract, and create telescopic concern. Any form of one-way conduits of information make for the assured elimination of action on the behalf of the recipients. The enemies of storytelling are great in number. Throughout the ages, they have infiltrated our schools, our churches, our government, and our homes. Think of the stories the current White House, not the elect White House, could tell if its walls and rooms and hallways could speak. The same goes for teachers' lounges and rectories and convents. The suppression and the displacement of storytelling. But oh, the traditions unfortunately die off with heroes like Utah Phillips, Hunter S. Thompson, Spalding Gray, etc. And I've compiled some leading factors in a decline of storytelling. Going back to the 50s, TV dinners. In the 80s, 60-hour work weeks. In modern times, CNN. And even just today, non-stop global suffering. Hold sacred the moments you have with a loved one or a dear friend in confidence. Hold sacred the fleeting glimpses of assurance within this reality of illusions. Hold sacred your ability to speak, to convey, to receive, to believe in something. And that was the end of part 1. And then 3 short stories about snow, and I'm done. Thunder snow. The squalls return and move across the Great Lakes like white dragons from the north. Armed with cruel cyclonic breath, they thrash about, waking old ghosts from peaceful slumber. They once sent the steadfast masses of this northern land into wendigo psychosis. These dragons leave no one spared. These dragons stir long-forgotten emotions. These dragons cast spells of cold and lonesome. Like frozen dust, like a blinding flash, like horror from our ancient past. They watch and wait, and when you finally rest, their wings snap taut again. And one more and I'm done. And this is called the weather of magic. This is the true weather of magic, born of thermodynamics in the hydrologic realm. Magic cast down from the unseen. It is the space between branches, the distance between waves, the time between seconds, the unfolding of frozen breath, the trance and pulse of wind-whipping eyes, burning through clothes, passing through town and country, modeling our weary brow. This magic makes for heavy sleep, this magic makes for heavy dreams. Thank you.